Hi everybody, I'm Raven the Swift, and welcome to Raven the Swift Tournament Reviews. And basically this is a segment where I take some tournament video from somewhere in the United States of some foam fighting, and I review it because it's really fun. This particular video is actually taken from my home kingdom, the Rising Winds. Basically, if you don't know me or know the Rising Winds is a tiny kingdom, well, a very, very large kingdom in the Midwest. If you don't know me, I've won a lot of tournaments from all across the United States, and I've won a bunch of them. So, anyway, we're going to get to it, and we're going to watch this video and see how it goes. Oh, by the way, we're not going to judge whether or not someone is taking shots or anything like that, or not taking shots, or that's not really our job. Our point here is to have fun and listen to me describe some of the things that are going on. Anyway, let's go. Let's go. Okay, we have Watt versus Saul. Watt is in the yellow and blue shield. Saul doing a little bit of a good job here, being defensive right away, waiting for his opponent to attack. Saul, Watt overextended and got a high cross attack to his board side shoulder.
Left side.
We see Saul fight another person real quick. It's going to be that lefty.
I literally can't see you. Please take your shots.
Are you a lefty? Yep.
Saul taking his time, just being cautious. Guy needs a leg shot, could be a little bit more defensive, could move back a little bit. Ooh, the lefty's hunching over, let's see if he gets high crossed.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're alright. It's okay. I was
Saul's doing defensive here. Saul doing a little bit of feint to that left side. Boop. Shoulder shot.
Hey,
nice shot, Saul.
No way.
You sure? Right there. My brain is all over. One here.
Oh, you're good. It surprised me, that's all.
We have Mark here in the white.
The shield hitting me.
This is someone I don't recognize. Nice high cross by, inside high cross by Mark. Very good. His opponent's a little rash, came in fast. Got a nice counter. Mark versus Sledgehammer here. Sledgehammer's shield's a little bit low. Sky up. Board side shoulder wrap as it's called. Mark fighting a lefty. Let's see how he does. Nice leg. Could have pushed out that Mark could have pushed out his block a little bit more. Out that lefty's outside wrap and thrown a good inside chop. Be a little more cautious next time. Okay. Nice.
Next. Left side. One here.
And then, okay, I mean,
This
whatever.
is pretty good. Good job,
It was
Godric.
helping, like,
Oh, by the way, this
Godric.
video is made by Godric from Gray.
You had upper leg.
Or St. Godric, as he's called, is knife in the Rising Winds.
Scarius.
We're going to watch a fight here of Sicarius for a little bit.
What's up, beautiful?
Sicarius does some things that seem pretty chaotic. I wish he would take advantage of his opponent's board side shoulder here.
Oh, Dad, don't take it.
Threw it pretty late.
You're good.
He could have easily just thrown a high cross, pump faked a second high cross, and thrown his opponent's board side shoulder, and not died.
I got you up.
We have Vaughn in the gray versus some stranger in black. Stranger in black looks decent. Vaughn needs to be a little more conservative here. Be more intelligent about how he's setting up his opponent. He ended up winning, but he threw a lot of shots. He could have died pretty easily in there somewhere. This is a 700 tournament, by the way. Here's Vaughn versus his SO. Aaron?
Okay. One. Come block. Come on again. It's the only bracket that matters to me.
Vaughn killed him in one shot. Okay.
You okay?
Vaughn's doing pretty good at pushing his opponent. I want to see him pushing on his board a little bit more to make sure his opponents aren't hitting him in the leg. Vaughn has an ACL injury, and he should be protecting that
warning,
a
just be
little bit
careful,
better.
please.
Lefty.
Yeah. Vaughn!
Killed another lefty. Nice. Vaughn's pretty good at decent at fighting
The trouble
lefties.
with
His
lefties
SO is also a lefty.
Shield isn't on this. Both legs.
Nice leg across that shoulder.
One over here. All right, one here.
Look into the volume on this video a little bit. Yep, hits a stationary target, not bad. He's getting tired. He could conserve a little bit more energy by not rushing his opponent instead of just setting them up better, so he has to take less steps and less actions. But he's winning them pretty cleanly. when I say you be more energy efficient, he should be threatening his opponent in such a way that he can just attack them once without having to close so much ground. Instead of throwing into a defensive, instead of just attacking a stationary target and like they're really defensive, ready to do stuff, you can kind of prime your target by threatening them in specific types of ways to open up their guard and make them more vulnerable to attack when you decide to actually attack them. It's the best way to be. It's one of the best strategies in being energy efficient when you're in a long style tournament like this. Let's see, we have Rob versus someone, I don't know who they are. Rob eats a high cross. Good high cross there. Rob should have hit him in the leg when he was standing there though. This video is not sponsored by Monster Energy, but these are really good. So that's a situation where that guy who threw the wrap shot was actually probably late because the guy hit in the leg and then he threw a wrap attack, which is late in amp guard. Oh, nice leg shot. Pump fake the leg, hit the board side shoulder. Good. Sid Hawk, I think the guy's name is. I'll try to remember that.
I'm not running. Board takes a lot of energy.
We have Aaron versus this guy. Let's see how Aaron does. This guy's kind of aggressive, so let's see if Aaron's gonna hit him in the leg, or maybe throw a dark side to his underside arm. Good high cross. Kind of threw a nice little like pump fake to his opponent's left side, and then threw that nice little high cross in there. When I say pump fake, for those people who don't know what that means, it's just a short stutter or fake to a location without moving your sword arm too much. You're just kind of, you know, pumping it a little bit and then throwing over. It's one of the best fakes. Air is pretty clean. This guy's got a small shield and almost a dagger, so Air better kill this person. Air could actually have done a better job at just pump faking there and hitting that guy in the board side shoulder. But they did win, so. Gotta cover your legs there. There, Air. They Simoed. More chops. Use chops to control your opponent so they don't do that type of stuff. Or just move out of the way. Nice job, Watt. Seal. Watt attacking the underside arm there. See if he does it again. That almost landed. Watt with the outside wrap. Crossed the board side shoulder. That was nice because the opponent was hunching. If your opponent's hunching and giving up their posture, they're either doing it intentionally. You know, whether they're doing it intentionally or unintentionally, you should threaten that area anyway, because it'll make them have to overcompensate. One of the downsides of baiting that, even if you're intentionally doing it, is that you're losing physical positioning, and it can be threatened, and it's hard to recover from that. So yeah, whether your opponent's baiting it, hunching and baiting intentionally or unintentionally, you should still threaten that area because they will overcompensate, which allows something else to open up. Watt versus Mark. I'd like to see Watt use more cross-side shoulder attacks here, and be a little bit more, use a little bit more setups in his attacks instead of just committing and throwing big wraps. Bond doing a good job at just maintaining his posture. Bond did a good job at maintaining the exchange posture, as I call it. Typically what happens when people start getting exchanges, they start moving around more, they start compensating and just getting really disorganized in the way that they move their body. Vaughn did a really good job at staying tight there and just keeping pressure on Watt's center line without, you know, moving around a whole bunch. When people are doing these setups like Vaughn just did there with Tibby, people need to think about achieving depth on a target and how you actually reach deeper targets on an opponent. If you just dive into your opponent's like hardest to reach spot, like their board side shoulder or something like that, and you're not setting that up in order to be able to penetrate that depth, with consistency and success without getting injured yourself, and you're probably messing that up. So you really, really, really need to better prepare and set your opponent up so you can reach deeper targets, which usually requires you to attack shallower targets before you do that. Nice. The guy in the gray just did a good job at actually baiting his opponent out, making his opponent move around and throwing around his guard. Looks like they're doing a rematch. I don't know what happened there. See, his opponent's, the guy in the gray there is actually hunching up quite a bit forward. It looks like he's doing it intentionally to try to bait. I would hit that guy. I'd hit Gray Dude in the leg. Oh, nice board side shoulder wrap by Aaron. That was good.
He's got so much beard that, like, I think the beard just flattened on his shoulder. It sounded shielded too.
I'd like to see Aaron get a little bit more confident here and actually try to hit that board side shoulder. His opponent obviously doesn't like getting high crossed, and he's having that postural issue I talked about earlier, just leaving it open. At worst, he should threaten it so he can open his opponent's board side hip open. So he can throw across, feint towards his opponent's board side shoulder, and then hit the hip. And see, his opponent even moved in such a weird way that left his hip exposed. That was a good example of like being able to threaten your opponent's deeper targets that they're just leaving open because their posture, that open up other things. That was kind of a give me that would have ended up pretty fair rule for Aaron. Vaughn versus Saul here. I expect Saul to be pretty patient. Probably hit Vaughn to the leg. Backside spin. Yeah, you gotta set that spin up a little bit better. You gotta threaten more towards the opponent's board side shoulder and use your footwork to threaten it too. If you're just standing there, they're not gonna eat the fake for your spin. Part of the spin is that I'm faking with my feet and my body towards one way, not just with my shot and not just with my hand. Ooh, nice high cross by Solve. Solve is... It's a 7 and under tournament, so I have to think that Solve has a 6 Sword of the Warrior. But Solve's been fighting for a long time. I think he's been fighting for like 6 or 8 years or something. No, it's probably 8 if I think about it. Haj versus Ash. Haj is pretty good. He's from Polaris, which is up in Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa. Ash is from Michigan. I like Haj's guard here. He keeps his hand back so it can't be attacked by his opponent. He kind of leaves his board side shoulder up just a little bit to that might incite them to attack that. It's good bait. I also like the way that Haj is keeping his feet pretty narrow so his opponent can't hit his sword side leg. Ooh, let's see if Haj takes that high cross bait. Ash doing a good job here, not overextending. Nice. Haj versus Solve. Both these guys got a lot of tricks. I think it's going to really come out to who gives up the position first and who starts getting in bad spots. The first person to get in a bad spot is going to be exploited by the opponent because both these guys are kind of fast and relatively experienced. They both also use indirect attacks and stuff like that and feints and misdirection to kind of get to their opponent. Ash starts the context with the underside arm shot. Now he can fake off of that or throw it again. And he kind of did look a little pump fake there into his high cross. So he's kind of building off the context there. Got the arm with that. Nice. And that whole exchange started with Haj just throwing that underside arm, which allowed a bunch of other things to start happening. Good fake to the inside body. That was a good way of handling someone who's hand matched against you. Good job, Haj. So round 2. I think Saul's going to be a little bit more aggressive here and try to establish context first before Haj. Oh, hit him in the leg. Good idea. It's almost always a good idea to hit someone in the leg if they're giving it to you and you think that you can get away with it scot-free. Board side leg. I would like to see Saul throw a high cross, pump fake to his opponent's board side shoulder, and throw money to the offside leg, or to Haj's groin. Haj is a pretty small. Oh, did he get it? Oh, it's so close. That's what I wanted. Gotta commit a little bit more. Gotta commit a little bit closer to Haj's guard for that spin to work out. That was a pretty spin though. Yeah. There's a situation there for Saul where he kind of had to wait out and use more block strike skills. But he kind of got impatient.
Is there any pictures of me from this tournament? I'm on my knees.
I was trying to fucking hit you in the ass. You just want to
I've watched the bathroom.
I'm trying to rest your
He does. He gets the shield. Yeah.
He's nimble and quick.
We'll turn that volume a little bit here.
Socialize off the field. Yeah, we got a lot going on.
One of the big issues I'm here is I'm not seeing people commit to their setups as much as I would like them to, and they're not allowing the conditioning that they're giving to their opponent to really mature into these attacks. When I say that, when you give someone some type of stimulus or I'm conditioning to do something, I have to do it enough to when I actually do when I perform the attack that I tend to kill you with, that it is successful. If I'm not conditioning them enough and not allowing that condition to mature, my attack when I go to perform it won't eventually work out. It's a good high cross counter there by Haj. Let's see if Sicarius knows that he's left hand. Almost hit that left leg. He's going to keep backing up. If Sicarius doesn't move forward with his attack, he's not going to be able to hit Haj. Haj has pretty decent footwork. Dark side, outside arm. Nice. Good job, Haj. That was a great way of approaching an opponent that you may think would be a little bit dangerous.
Didn't help me in single.
Nice arm shot, Haj. I like the Haj to that inside arm without giving up ground to his opponent. He stepped in, put some conditioning and context on Sicarius' board side shoulder, didn't back up, and immediately capitalized on it by throwing sword side arm. And that's a good way of instantly capitalizing on any investment that you're making on your opponent.
There you go. More dexterity.
It's a good ROI. As long as Haj is safe here, he should be fine. Yeah, nice block strike skills. So, that's the end of the video for the Rising Winds 7 and under Ferrum Crux Coliseum tournament. If you guys have any comments or stuff, let me know. And if you have video and stuff you want me to review, please just send it to me on Facebook, or you can just PM me here on YouTube or whatever. Anyway, guys, this has been Raven the Swift Does Tournament Reviews, and I'll check you later. Bye.